Hello, lords and ladies. Welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. Watch till the end for some important news. What do you get when you cross Batman with Pixar's Cars? You get Batwheels, a new show out on HBO Max right now. Move over, Batman. There's a new team of crime fighters in Gotham, and they're your own vehicles. Yes, you heard me correctly. Batwheels is less about the old Cape Crusader himself, and more about his cars. At least his first episode is. I haven't watched the rest of the show. When word of this first leaked online, I was right there with everyone thinking, what in the heck is this? Had Warner Brothers finally run out of ideas? It is an odd concept, even for a franchise where there's a Bat Dog and Bat Cow. It's quite literally just Batman meets cars, just with more superheroes instead of racing. Secret Origin of the Batwheels, the premiere episode of the new show, is literally just what the title suggests. The hush-hush origins of this new team. The plot kicks off with Batman and his allies giving chase to Joker, Penguin, Riddler, Harley, and Mr. Freeze. Some of the designs are silly but clever, owing to the audience that this show is obviously aiming for, like Mr. Freeze with his ice cube head. Others are just a little bit off. Joker looks more like one of the Jokers than the clown prince of crime himself. More noticeable differences include both Freeze and I think Riddler being race-swapped, which, funny enough, kind of makes Freeze's blue lips stand out even more, almost like he's wearing lipstick instead of presumably what's meant to be frostbitten lips. The other changes are, of course, seen with Robin and Batgirl. This show's version is Duke Thomas, who in the comics was the Signal, though he did have a brief stint as Robin in the comic book We Are Robin, which I think is honestly a better solution than if they decided to race swap Dick or Tim or something. So it's cool seeing Duke Thomas being the choice. I just wish he'd gotten a better Robin costume in the show. The one that we see isn't bad, it just reminds me way too much of Damien's, and I think designing something more unique to Duke, maybe invoking the colors from his Signal costume, would have been much better. The show also opts out of using Barbara as Batgirl again, and instead has Cassandra Cain, who is, honestly, one of my favorite Batgirls from the comics. Unfortunately, they made the mystifying decision to dress her in a costume from one of the worst eras of Batgirl, Barbara's Burnside outfit. And it actually does get worse, as without her helmet on, it looks like she's just wearing a cheap pair of ears she bought at a Dollar General. I'm not sure why they went with Cass, and then steered clear of any costume that she's ever worn. I don't know, maybe it was too scary for kids. I'd like to think that there were other better ways to get around that. And not to get too nitpicky, but personality-wise, she isn't written much like Cass at all. She's more like Barbara, if I had to take a guess. After Batman and his sidekicks are unceremoniously trapped following their latest victory over several of Gotham's notorious criminals, the Bat-computer brings Batman's car to life to fend off an intruder who somehow knows where the Batcave is. I remember getting this part in the episode and wondering why the Batcave doesn't have any other tricks or safety measures in place should someone break in that don't involve bringing to life Batman's car. That oddity aside, Bam, short for Batmobile, is born. Sorta. He seems somewhat previously aware of Batman and of having been a car, but then that would imply having had a consciousness prior to being given a forget it, never mind, it's too confusing. Bam does end up defending Batman's cave, and then goes to track down the living crash test dummy, aptly called Crash, to a junkyard, where we get to see what I can only assume is the big bad of the series. At first, I was thinking this villain was someone fans might recognize from the comics, like Brainiac or something, but no, he is an original character to the show. Bad Computer. You get it? Like Bat Computer, but he's bad, so he's Bad Computer? It's dumb, but it's also for 4-year-olds, so I don't really care. He brings to life the earlier villains' vehicles, and thus the League of Zoom is born. And even they think that's a dumb name, which I thought was pretty funny. There's also a Zoomer joke in there somewhere, but I am too lazy to think of one, so you guys figure one out. As a group of villains go, I do kind of like them. Name aside, I think the relationship and banter between Bad Computer and Crash is legit funny, and I could see why kids might get a laugh out of it. It is still too soon to see if the villain vehicles are going to be any good, though, as they don't get as much time to shine in episode 1. The same kind of goes for Batwheels themselves. Basically, we get a brief glimpse at their general personalities, and then we keep on rolling. When the two groups do face off, at the end of the episode, we see a very, very familiar trope. The good guys losing, and only starting to turn the tide by swapping enemies. It's been done hundreds of times. Just trust me on that because I'm too lazy right now to search up examples. But it isn't enough to criticize the episode for, in my personal opinion. And it does allow for some cool action sequences, and that's one thing the show seems really set on doing well. Which brings me to my next point. The show's CG is gorgeous. Leave it to Warner Brothers, of course, to have even their cartoons for preschoolers look amazing. My video might not show that off very well since I ended up getting my hands on a lower quality file off the internet, but on HBO Max's official site, it is stunning to look at. The roads are reflective with water, the cars all have a nice sheen to them, and the character models are really pleasant to look at. It's just a really nice looking show, and it clearly had a lot of effort put into its presentation. Now, plot-wise, and since I've only seen an episode, I can't say much, it's decent. Like, I'm not expecting a grand story from something meant for a 5-year-old, so my expectations were lowered accordingly. It's only episode 1, like I said, so it's very basic in its setup. Bam comes alive, he learns to be his own hero, not just imitating Batman, and he helps save Batman from bad computer. There's not too much else to dissect there. Honestly, in terms of the writing, I think the silliest thing, besides just the concept for the show in general, is just Bat Computer's insistence that the cars keep all of this a secret from Batman. I really don't get why that has to be. Like, what's he gonna do? Remove their chips and force them to be unalive again? Maybe, but that's not really explained in the episode, so it just seems like an odd writing decision to have them operate in secret. Moving on to the voice actors, I think they all do a pretty good job of portraying these classic comic book characters, especially Hawk as Batman. I'm glad he finally got to be Batman after apparently either not getting the role or turning it down for an earlier Batman film. And even with odd design choices, whomever is voicing Joker certainly does live up to the other voice actors before him. Maybe not on the same level as, say, Hamill, but I think he does good. And Harley's voice actors actually surprised me, because I thought it was like legit Tara Strong reprising her role, but no, it's a new lady, and I think she does a pretty good job. And other than what I've mentioned so far, I've no serious complaints about the show. Some design decisions are a little irksome to me, but the show seems fun. Nothing I think I'll want to keep watching on my own time. I mean, maybe if I'm bored, I'll turn it on. But what about you? Do you have a kid or maybe a younger family member like a niece or nephew who forced you to watch the show? Or maybe you just seen it on your own time just to see what it's like? What are your thoughts on it? Share any of your opinions on it down below. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more reviews and cartoon-related content like this. I've also got merch and a membership where you can vote on future videos or see them earlier. And now for the announcement I alluded to earlier at the beginning of the video. This is going to be my final review for 2022, or at least I'm striving to get it up before the year ends. You never know with me. Basically because I'm going to be taking a break. I don't know exactly how long, but it's going to be at least a few weeks, maybe. See, I've kind of been getting burned out on reviews lately, what with a lot of the bigger videos that I've done in the past couple of months, and I kind of just need a rest from all that. Plus, honestly, there's nothing out right now that I want to cover besides like Dragon Age Absolution, and weirdly enough, you guys voted for me to not cover it, so I think it'll be a good time to recharge. Hopefully, you won't have to wait too long for me to come back, like previous times, and I'll be back ready to review more cartoons, past and present. Hope you all have a great New Year's, stay safe, and take care.
Yeah, this whole limo thing was pretty sus.
I have no idea what you just said.